Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse, The Flash from Earth -52. This guy's also been referred to as Reverse Flash or Gold Red Death. This is a gold label Walmart exclusive. He's available at the Walmart website right now. I grabbed mine the other day and it arrived finally. This is a repaint of the Red Death action figure, which is essentially a Flash and Batman hybrid from Earth -52. Basically, Bruce Wayne entered the Speed Force and merged with Barry Allen, and he became the dominant personality. And this is when Barry Allen took back over and became a good guy. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, gold label, 22 points of articulation, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse, The Flash from Earth -52. One side of the package, Dark Knight's Metal, The Flash, Earth -52. Other side, Flash, Earth -52. At the bottom, there's a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode in case that helps anybody. And on the back side, here is this gold Flash running, and here are a bunch of other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures you should check out. So with no further ado, let's get them open. And I did end up getting two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch unopened Batman-related action figure collection. And of course, this is simply a repaint from the Red Death action figure, but this is one of their better repaints. It actually almost gives you a completely different character. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with a collector's card and a display stand, but before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So here's a McFarlane gold figure, and it's not a gold chase variant. This is the gold version of Red Death. It's Flash from Earth -52. I've also seen him referred to as Reverse Flash, Gold Red Death. This is a Batman and Flash hybrid where Bruce Wayne took over, but Barry Allen has pushed him out and is now in control of the body again. He's still rocking that Batman-esque costume. You can see the ripped in half bat symbol on his chest. He's got the bat ears. The mask looks pretty cool. Closed mouth. Got all these sort of things sticking out of him. The detail is very nice on this guy. You can see a ton of sculpting detail all over him. A little bit of different texture on the different parts of his suit. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This guy's a Walmart exclusive. I'm happy to finally have him. One running hand, one gripping hand, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. This is a great reuse of the same sculpt as it actually came from the comics this way. Very nice job. Better than some of their pointless gold and bronze figures. This guy actually makes sense and has a reason to exist in action figure form. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand. Black perfect circle. Says DC at the bottom. He's got one peg for the peg holes on his feet. Very thin. Very basic. And here's his collector's card. This is the Red Death gold version running away. You can see the Flash from Earth -52, Dark Knight's Metal on the back. There's a little description here if you want to read it. Pause now. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, he doesn't come with any traditional accessories, just a display stand and collector's card. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 7.0 inches tall, which is going to translate to a hair under 18 centimeters. And now, let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down about that far. He can't tilt his head from one side to the other, giving him a nice amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint. It can go out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion slightly. He's got a bicep cut below that, double jointed elbows below that. His wrist here, it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate, can also go forward and back. Another ball joint in his waist. Can rotate around, it can also go forward and back, giving him a very wide range of motion in his torso here. His legs go out about this far, Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. There's rotation, but it's extremely minimal. His legs go forward about that far, and back, not too much. Double jointed knees below that. And then his ankle here, it can rotate around. It can go up and down. It can tilt and rock as well. And there is toe articulation. So on Earth -52, I believe there was Flash and Batman. They were both heroes and good guys, and Batman thought he could use the Speed Force to do even more good than Barry Allen. Here's Earth -52's Flash running down the street. And here's Batman getting ready to make his move on the Flash. Bruce Wayne ended up sort of merging with Barry Allen, used the Speed Force and pushed him out, controlling his body. He decided to use the Speed Force for good. He thought he could accomplish much more than Barry Allen could. He then became the Red Death, and I believe he used his powers for good for a while, but power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He ended up becoming a villain. And then the Gold Red Death, and the package simply calls him the Flash from Earth -52, is Barry Allen back in charge, pushed Bruce Wayne out, and is a good guy again. Here's a Gold Red Death running down the street. And in the comics, you did get to see this Gold Red Death or Flash work with the Flash of our Earth. Unfortunately, this Barry Allen ended up dying. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is next to the original Red Death. I must say, in my opinion, the original Red Death looks quite a bit better. His paint job is a lot more diverse, and you can see a lot more of the details. They're both very nice figures and comic accurate, but his face is pretty much solid gold except for the eyes, and he's got the red all over his mask. I like that. They both have that nice broken bat symbol. They look very good. Just the details come out a little more on this guy. And now, next to McFarlane's The Flash, both the single release and the 2-pack with the angry head. Here are all the different Speed Force figures McFarlane has made so far. We do have the upcoming Flash from Zack Snyder's Justice League. You could easily repaint this guy yellow and make him the Reverse Flash with the angry face. I have seen some really cool customs of that. I would love to see them make Zoom from the show or Reverse Flash. They could really knock those out of the park. The original Red Death was part of the Dark Knight's Metal team of various evil Bruce Waynes from different dark multiverse. They worked under Barbados. But when Barry Allen took back over, he wasn't on that team. He fought with the other heroes. Here are a bunch of gold McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Batman and Deathstroke are rare chase variants, but the others aren't. Although I do imagine if you don't get the Gold Red Death or the Gold Hellbat now while they're out, they're going to be pretty hard to track down later. And here's my entire collection of McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Including all the variants, I've got a total of 67 figures and 2 vehicles, and I'm not even fully caught up. Things that other people have been finding that I haven't found yet: the unmasked Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman, Injustice Flash and Injustice Gorilla Grodd, and the platinum variations of both the Injustice figures. Getting closer though. Now let's check him out next to some other Barry Allen and Flash type figures. Here he is with my McFarlane Flash figures. Then, next to a bendy figure Flash. Actually looks pretty good for a bendy figure. And here are all of my DC Direct and DC Collectibles Flash figures. Then, here he is next to all of my Mattel Flash figures. And here's my entire collection of Flash action figures. Here's this Flash next to a couple of Kid Flash figures. Then, next to a Reverse Flash. And here, next to a couple of Zoom figures. And since we're on the subject of a gold figure, here's a Jazzwares Fortnite Midas. He has the golden touch. He touches Red Death, and voila, we have the gold version. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane 7-inch scale figure, I'll start out my comparisons with the larger action figure lines I collect and work my way smaller. Here he is next to some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And here, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, he's a pretty cool figure. I do prefer the original Red Death paint variation to this one. This one's a little bit dull on the eyes, being almost all gold. But I'm really happy McFarlane released a paint variation that actually makes sense. Is it based on something from the comics? This is a great reuse of the mold and a great paint variation. Some of the Chase figures have no basis in reality, and it's really nice they found a way to reuse the sculpt and give us something new from the comics. His articulation is great, his accessories are non-existent, his paint job is excellent, I don't see any flaws at all. If I were to rate this guy, I'm probably going to give him a 7 out of 10. I'm very happy to add him to the collection. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.